Hi, it's Cat Ho. The the movie Crazy Rich Asians, which I'm going to be talking about, by the way, and the more we talk about it, the more why I'm going to be talking about that video as we analyze it. So this is more to persuade people, and after after listening to my speech, you understand why how much Asian they have to sacrifice for the second generations, or how much they have to able to handle that burden ever since they moved from a different country to have their own life and America itself. So this film itself was actually made in 2018 or somewhere around 2013 or so, and it was directed by John M. Chu, and the movie itself is based on a 2013 Lucy, based on the 2013 novel itself by Kevin Kwan, and talks about the love stories itself. Well, not just love stories, but also talks about the life in general of the family itself. What can we say about that? Well, it's about bringing families together and embracing their own culture, and the culture itself on Asian Americans and also American itself. Yeah, this is something that everybody should talk about mostly. And as we digress in itself, there are plenty of people, mainly the young ones, typically don't want to embrace that culture. They typically want to show that they're American and they want to stay with it. Similar to the film itself, like Nick himself, who's the main character in the movie, and typically they're typically more Asian Americanized, of course. And Nick himself came from a modest family. By mainly the actress, the character that was played by Michelle Yeoh. She came from a modest family until he himself became wealthy. Right? It's not about the wealthy life of a family. It's about the aspect of two different cultures that tends to sometimes clash with each other. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because the family itself, typically the character played by Michelle Yeoh, is more of a people who maintain that culture, and they want to digress it into their own child, and they don't want to change it. And both love itself for the characters that they had to develop. It's about the love aspects and bringing both cultures together. And what can we say about that? Well, it's about the young generations typically trying to not become that kind of what we call old and traditionalist style families that Asian American has to go through, but not understanding about the burden that how much sacrifice they had to be, learning everything from a totally new to them, totally foreign to them. It's about learning the language that they moved. That is learning the new language itself, how much they have to work to provide what they have, and given that their family needed to give their child a life of their own, and bringing the love aspect, and not just also the love, but also discussing the culture to maintain it, and not actually trying to abandon it or trying to get rid of it. And what can we say for the end? And what can we end with? Well, we end it with is this: young generations simply don't want to learn from the older generations. It's because they thought it was too traditional, too backwards. But the honest truth is, if we can embrace the culture, and if more and more Asian Americans from the younger millennials and younger generations, if they can embrace their own culture, then it means they can able to tolerate everything. That's what Crazy Rich Asians supposed to be, bringing people together and maintaining their culture.